Hello, BookTube, and welcome back. Not a great start to the day today in the UK in the morning. It was absolutely torrential rain. It was terrible. That kind of like Moses level rain. Even if you've got an umbrella, every square inch of you is still going to get you absolutely soaking wet. So I was trying to get into the office today to work there, but I was on the bus shivering because I was so wet. I'm like, Alex, go home, soft lad. Go and get yourself dry. I can see the dog's in the backyard right now. I'm just having a look. Joe, this dog, this beagle, right? He hates hot weather. Absolutely despises hot weather, and he's not so keen on snow either. But rain, he absolutely loves it when it's raining. He loves puddles. He loves mud. He just loves getting messy. I can see him dancing around in the back garden now, splashing into all the puddles and rubbing himself against the grass. He absolutely just loves getting a mess. He does. Even when I let him outside in the backyard, and it's raining outside, it's hard to get the little thing back in again. I'm not going out there to chase him. So I thought, because I've got time right now, just to make maybe a quick couple of BookTube videos. I've been watching I'm not sure if it's a tag or not. It probably is a tag. It's about eReader. Do you e-read? What's your preference? Well, it's that kind of flavour. And I thought I'm going to do that, because I've pretty much transformed myself from a physical copy reader to a e-reader person. So I think it's 7 questions. I don't know. It's 7 prompts, so it is a tag. It's 7 prompts, and each prompt has multiple questions. That's a bit of a cheeky number, isn't it? Just brighten up my phone so I can see the questions. Yeah, so it's 7 prompts, and each prompt's got multiple questions. So let's give it a whirl. So the first question is, what was the first e-reader you ever owned? What was the reason for getting one? And were you a reluctant convert or an eager one? Now, technically, you've got your mobile phones, and that's an e-reader. You can classify it, but to me, an e-reader is things like a Kindle. This is my first e-reader, and it's my current e-reader, and it's the only e-reader, bar having a phone, I've ever had. I think this is. Do you know what? Is it the Kindle? Someone will know. Is that the Kindle Oasis, or is it the Kindle Paperweight? I don't know. And obviously, Starry Night, obviously, by Vincent van Gogh. What is a problem with this, though? I'm sure I think it is the Kindle Oasis. I'm sure everybody knows the power switch is on the bottom here. So when you're reading, the amount of times I've switched this bloody thing off. When you're in the middle of a page or the middle of a paragraph, no! And what was the reason for you getting one? Well, pretty much, I reckon, a lot of people jump to e-readers, and that's because these things here, they take up so much space. I wish I lived in, Doctor Who's telephone box where it's just an endless space. But no, the reason is because I started to run out of space. There's only so many areas in my house I can store books. So my idea is to get all the books in my house into this room here. I've still got bits and pieces all over the place. I mean, all the Discworld books are somewhere else as well. So I've still got to do more unhauls from this room. And so that's the idea. So that's why I've got a Kindle. It's because these guys take up way too much space. And the last question is prompt is, were you a reluctant convert or an eager one? I wouldn't class myself as eager or reluctant a bit. It was more like I had to do it. No, but not much trepidation. It was more like, okay, let's give it a whirl. Let's see what this is about. So I wasn't overly bothered either way, to be honest with you. I just needed to sort out my book collection from taking way too much space into this tiny little number here. Okie dokie. The second prompt is, what e-reader do you use now? What e-readers do you own? Oh, well, I'll just answer that question, do I? I can't. Is this a Kindle Oasis, Kindle Paperweight? I'm 100% sure. This is my current e-reader. It's my only e-reader. I know my friends got a Kobo and all that number as well. And I did want to buy the Kindle. Is it the Kindle Colour? But the over here it's about £260, £270, something like that, for an e-reader. I mean, why do I want to spend that much money just to see the covers in colour on an e-reader? I mean, the argument is probably is if you like graphic novels, which I do, you can get graphic novels to see on these. I mean, if I was going to get a graphic novel, I'd get a physical copy rather than on an e-reader. So this is my only e-reader, if you're not counting a mobile phone. And what e-reader? Oh yeah, well, the Kindle Oasis, I think it's called, and my mobile phone, which I could technically read e-read books on. Question number 3: do you read digitally on multiple devices or always on the same device? Well, if you only read on one, if you use multiple, how do you decide which one to use? Okie dokie. So, as I said, I've only got the Kindle Oasis / Paperweight because I can't remember. And my mobile phone. And I do use my mobile phone for e-reading too. So I use this 9 times out of 10, 9.5 times out of 10. This is my preference. This is my go-to. This is the one next to me on the couch. On my bedside table. This is the one I'll pick up and read. I'll take it with me. I'm going on a long journey. For work, I travel quite a lot, so it's on trains, on planes with me, on ships. This is definitely my go-to preference. But if I've had a brain fart and forgot to take this with me, I will read on the Android phone I've got. Whatever number it is, I can't remember. So the only time I'll ever e-read not on the Kindle Oasis / Paperweight is on my phone, is when I've forgot it. So when I'm on a train or I'm on a plane, I'll read on my phone if I forgot the Kindle. Next, so this is prompt 4. Do you still read physical books? If so, how do you decide which format to read a certain book in? Well, I did say before, if I was going to read a graphic novel, I'd prefer to read a physical copy. Because I'm not going to do it on the Kindle Oasis / Paperweight because it's black and white and I don't want a colour version. And I'm not going to splash out a ridiculous sum to buy the Kindle Colour or the Kobo Colour or the equivalents, So if it's a graphic novel, I will definitely get a physical copy. Second time I'll read physical books if it's been given to me for a present. So you can't really see it, but these shelves go all the way to the top. At the top on this side is the Penguin cloth-bound classics. So the likes of Frankenstein and War and Peace and all that. That's all up in the top there, and there I get usually about 3 or 4 around Christmas time, and I'll stick them up there. So if it's a graphic novel, if it's a present, or I think the last option would be if it's a new release and I don't fancy splashing out silly money, because non-fiction books on the Kindle can be quite expensive. I just get my brother usually to pick up books from the library. Other than that, I do not read physical copies anymore. I mean, most of these are for show right now. The books I actually like, but I read them all, but I just don't desire to read physical books. I mean, I've got a lot of these books on my Kindle, and I got a lot of the non-fiction, the fiction, the fantasy wise and all that. I've got them on Audible as well if I fancy listening to them. So that's the only time I'll ever do physical books again. So question 5 is, what is something you dislike about reading ebooks? Well, on the Kindle Oasis / Paperweight, I told you about this little disaster here, the on-off switch, which drives me up the wall. But what of it? This reading on Kindles is so much more superior now than reading physical books. It's easier to use in your hand. It's easy to not lose where you're up to. It's easy to highlight words you don't know what it means, and it's basically a dictionary. You can read in a dark room. And it's easy to travel with. Why? I can't think of any other reason that I wouldn't like reading on an e-reader than a physical copy, apart from the on-off switch. Not at the top of my head anyway. I guess you can always say that some of the prices on digital copies are ridiculous. Some of the non-fiction can be £25, £30. I'm paying that much for a digital copy. What? Where's all that money going? And even, it's not just non-fiction, it's also fiction, which are horrendously overpriced. You're getting a digital copy. Why is it so expensive? So there you go. Digital copies can get really expensive, and the on-off switch on the Kindle Oasis or Paperweight. Prompt 6. Would you ever ditch physical books completely and become a sole ebook reader? If yes, why? If no, why? Well, that's kind of the same question as question 4. Do you still read physical copies? So I reckon in the future I would be a pure digital reader. I mean, the cost of the e-readers would become quite low, hopefully, so you can pick up the likes of graphic novels and whatnot. But as I just described, e-readers are, in my opinion, far superior than reading physical copies. So I would definitely prefer e-reader 100,000% than to anything else. And I guess that question also would say, would I ever get rid of all these books? Would would you ever ditch physical books completely? That doesn't say would you ever stop. It says ditch physical books. So would I ever get rid of all these? Oh, that's a tough one. I reckon I could get rid of 9 out of 10 of these books and keep the actual really either the expensive books that are up there or the Penguin cloth bound classics. The nice looking books. I mean, you can get rid of all this. And maybe one day I will, because I'm not really emotionally attached to physical books. So I think, yes, I will be able to completely ditch physical copies when the prices go down on the future Kindles or any e-reader to get colour, ink, to read graphic novels, and just to clutter out books which I'm probably never ever going to pick up and read. So yes, I guess. And prompt number 7. Where do you get your ebooks? A Kindle store, library loans, third-party websites? I've only ever got it from the Kindle store. I've never bothered with anything else. I know if on your phone it's easy to get copies from other places. I don't think you can. If you've got a Kindle, I don't think you can get digital e-books from anywhere else, can you? There might be like one of them ways, but I'm not sure whether how to do it. So yeah, and that is it, folks. And I'll probably make another video right now. See you soon, BookTube.